everyone, my name is May and welcome back to me. Out of practice this, but I'm keen to be in practice. Theoretically, I'm keen to be in practice. I live in southeast Queensland and so it is flooding like the becheeses here. I tried to go to work this morning and couldn't. Everything was flooded. So, yep, now I'm at home on a Monday morning, which feels very weird. Because yes, I'm now a full-time worker. That feels really adult to say. I'm a bit scared. I think I might leave. Yeah. So yeah. I graduated. I am now a graduate. I no longer have the huge mouthful of telling people what I do, that I'm a student studying a Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science. I now can just say, oh, I'm a scientist. Wow, wasn't that clean? That was so sharp. I'm now a full-time scientist. That sounds very scary. I swear, I didn't make COVID. Somebody else may have. I cannot speak for other scientists, but at least I didn't, you know? Most profoundly because I work in histo, which means we make tissue slides, and then a pathologist looks at them under the microscope. I just make slides all day. That's what I do. I cut the slides, and I stain the slides, and they give them to the pathologist, and I'm like, you find the cancer. So, yeah, I know you're thinking, wow, so you went to university for 4 or 5 years and this is what you can do. I can do other things too, just not paid to do them. Shush. Anyway, we've talked about the science side of my brain for way too long. Basically, I'm a scientist now. You know, I do then still do artistic stuff by reading, writing, singing, dancing. Do left side of the brain and then right side of the brain. It's like a strange tango all the time. I'm trying to code it in Chinese because otherwise it's kind of a little bit depressing, because up until graduating and actually until about max a month ago, I've actually been suffering from really, really terrible burnout. Especially last year was really, really hard. While everyone else in 2021 went off and, you know, got married or had their babies or any of those kind of things, my family had several animals die, and I kind of crashed a car. You know, not amazing things happen, and like some great things happen too, but basically my year was so full of just everything, and I don't know how to stop, basically. My burnout hit pretty hard. Nothing brought me joy anymore, and that's kind of strange because I don't know if it translates very well, but normally I'm quite an optimistic, quite a joyful person, like quite naturally. I actually enjoy finding the humour and the comedy in life. I lost all ability to do that, and that was very scary for me because I had always been able to pick myself up and always been able to find the joy in things, and so to suddenly feel just like it just wasn't worth it. Nothing was worth it. If you ever think that possibly you're experiencing burnout, just you know, pull back a bit. I had so many friends and family telling me to pull back, telling me that I was doing too much and I was putting too much on myself, and I didn't really listen. And anyway, I definitely paid the price for it, and I'm still really recovering from that. So in the wake of that, I've been trying to take stuff really slowly, trying to really listen to actually understanding my energy needs. I never used to be able to physically feel how much energy I have for things, but now I'm very acutely aware of being like, that will drain me. That's too much. That's not actually possible in the amount we have in our tank. In part of my trying to pull myself out, I'm trying to learn to rest and trying to learn to actually really look at the things that every time will bring me quite a lot of joy. For me, I'm finding those things are like dance, those things are exercise, and those things are the arts. Reading books, writing books, watching movies, listening to music. I really didn't have much time for any of that in the past year and a bit. To epitomise my burnout, I didn't actually finish my NaNoWriMo. I think I got probably 7,000 words in. Like, it was really, I just had no desire to do it whatsoever. I was doing a Rebel Nano that was like halfway through November to halfway through December, and I didn't finish it. I'm filming this on the 28th of February, but I feel like it's probably early March by this point. I really hope it's only early March. And I want to be looking at the things that I'm currently doing to find really restful, to actually build into digging myself out of where I've been. As always, I have a lot of books on the go. The most substantial read that I'm currently reading at the minute, and I don't know why I've never read it, is June by Frank Herbert. I don't know why I've never read this before, but obviously with the release of the films, I'm interested in reading it. I really am. And I've been reading it, and I don't know why I never read it before. Like, it's so good. I think it definitely flows into my thing of I'm not much of a sci-fi person a lot of the time, and I don't know why I think this, because every time I read sci-fi, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. I think I'm probably 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through June. I am thoroughly enjoying it. It's really, really good. Maybe the reason why I don't like sci-fi is because, like, I started reading Ender's Game, and I was like, this is not for me, and everyone thinks that Ender's Game is, like, top-notch. So, you know, maybe that was my problem. The next one that I'm reading is Murray and the Night Brothers by Bibi Alston, that I bought for my brother for Christmas, and I was like, you know what, I should read this too. And so I'm reading this as well, and I'm really liking this. I love middle grade. It definitely has a lot of elements that I've already read before in many middle grade stories, that they discover they have magic. But it's really fun, it's pretty delightful. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm not quite finished. I think I'm 2/3 in or halfway in. Anyway, I'm really liking this. Goodreads, why do you do this to me? Why is Goodreads so mean to me when I am so nice to Goodreads most of the time? The third book that I'm reading that I forgot to bring my copy upstairs is The Outlaws Scarlet and Brown by Jonathan Stroud. I meant to finish this quite a while ago and I just haven't, and that's been the thing, is there's been so many fun books that came out last year that I just didn't end up reading. Whoops. I am excited to finish this. I think it'll end okay. It's definitely not my favourite of his work. I definitely love Lockwood & Co. the best. That's an amazing series, and his Bartimaeus trilogy is mind-blowingly good. But The Outlaws Scarlet and Brown is okay, and I am really enjoying it. It's not that it's terrible, but you know. Hey Sarah! Your oats! My housemate just found oats at the shops, because that's right, when it floods suddenly everyone panic buys. Goodness gracious, guys, gee! First it's oats, then it's water, then it's fuel. Let's not even really comment on that situation, except fuck me, guys, come on. And then the final book that I'm kind of reading a bit with my brother and my cousin is Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson, which is the third book in this Starward series. It's the third book in this series, and it is sci-fi, so maybe I'm just gonna get into a big sci-fi kick and read Leviathan Wakes and just be all over that shit and, you know, be like actually good sci-fi and fantasy reader. I don't know, it could happen, but don't hold your breath. I've only read a little bit of this, but I do actually really want to finish this because Brandon Sanderson is my king, is my boy, and he is the only living author of my favourite authors who consistently produces shit. That's not quite correct to say because V.E. Schwab also consistently produces work, but he's the most consistent producer of the alive favourite authors of mine. All of my other favourite authors are dead. It's very sad. Quite sad about that. Then quickly, the other thing that I've been trying to do, because I've realised I have such a lack of education, is movies. I actually have such a lack of an education of movies, and me and my housemate have been trying to fix this. We have like a massive long movie list. Every single week we just sit and we watch a movie together. The rule is at least one of us has to have not seen it. Ideally both of us haven't seen it, but you know. And that's really fun. And then on top of that, I'm trying to catch up on some TV series because I've missed a lot. This is what I'm watching at the minute is Ted Lasso, because my brother was like, May, you have to watch Ted Lasso, and he was right. I did have to watch Ted Lasso. It's very good. As one of the pathologists at my work said, there are two types of people. Those who like Ted Lasso and those who haven't watched it yet. Which group do you fit into? I think we're reaching a bit of a weird conclusion here. Thank you for watching my ramble as I'm stuck and can't go to work because it's flooding, and I am a super doer, and so I'm feeling very twitchy because I can't go to work. This is just one of the reasons why I burn out, because I want to do something all the time. Alrighty, cool. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Goodbye. Is that weird to tell people that you... Bye. Anyway, bye. But yes, if you do happen to have a kidney that needs looking at, just come and ask me. I'll get that kidney sorted for you. Don't you worry. What? It doesn't make any sense. Why do I make the most nonsensical... Because I woke up at 4:30 this morning? I don't know,